Hello, my name is Billy Delaney. I was born in Ireland and I came to America in 1978. And I wanted to get an education, so I did. And in the process of doing that, I came across something that has been with me for the last 30 years. And I got to know Mark, and he asked me would I speak on a subject that seems to be totally alien to everything that's taken place here today. But actually, it's not. And I'm not going to give a religious message or anything like that, so I'd like you all to relax, okay? I was a pastor for 30 years. I did work in jails, death row, in Northern Ireland during all of the civil strife. I buried my friends. My friends are terrorists in jail. I seen bodies. It was a mess. And I had my family there, and we worked with it. And when I was asked this question, what's the nature of the spiritual nature of social media, I came with something that I've known all my life, and especially in the last 30 years. I think that the spiritual nature of social media, and I'm going to prove it in a minute, is that people beg for love, and they earn respect. Now, in begging for love, that's looking for relevance. And in a business, when you want people to love your business, you're begging for relevance and the love. But in the assurance that you provide those people, you're earning respect. And so you've got all these channels. Now here's how this worked out in history. God said, in the beginning, but nobody knew about that for several thousand years. And then this guy made an app, and his name was Gutenberg, and it's called the press. And the people that were begging for love and trying to earn respect were talking to the king and his soldiers. And they didn't love them, and they didn't respect them. But then something happened. A revolution took place, and a middle class was born. They made lots of things. They created great stuff. And they went on to kick the kings out. And the armies now serve the man with the money. And the effect of that book was a fantastic app. It went viral. You can get it in your hotel room now, 500 years later. And not only that, but most of you know some of the stuff that's in it. Who ever heard of Psalm 23? Who can quote some of it? Okay. The guy wrote that 2,000 years ago. Nobody knew about it until Gutenberg printed it. And here you are today in the United States, and you can quote it. That's some blog. If you look at the Bible and how it's structured, you've got verses with less than 140 characters in it. That's a great tweet. If you want to know about being smart, 600 years before Aristotle, Plato, and Socrates, Solomon wrote down how things work. If you want 380 questions on life, go to the first book, Job, and you'll get those questions. They're all there. And the next thing, nothing really happened for a while. And then that was our content. Then the next thing that came along was we ended up with the channels. Some great guys in Europe, mostly Scotsmen, they turned around and they said, okay, let's have some radio, let's have some TV, and let's have some, things like that. And the telephone. And now, the revolution that took place against the institutions that brought the middle class outside in the village was now brought into the house. And the nature of social media then, in begging for our love and earning our respect, was, you buy this, you'll look like that. You own this, people will think of you like that. And we were being force-fed commercials with the excuse of there was a 40-minute television show to watch in between them doing that. And we thought we were, this was great. But then something else happened. There was a guy in Indiana called Mark Andreessen. And what Mark Andreessen did was, he took this stuff that we were all enjoying, computers and connecting and seeing what was going on, and he developed what was known as a browser. And now you could go look and find stuff you wanted to find. What was the revolution in that? We could turn the TV off. Now they had to try and get us through that. And people started to learn about that. And in that, we got control. And the spiritual nature of it now is, you and I people in this room, we're begging for love. And we want to earn respect. Because now we're the ones trying to sell something to someone or build a relationship with something. And I just listened to Mitch Joel, and I thought, it's overwhelming. It's like a steamroller that I can't stop. But as a person, I can do things. So to wrap this up and to prove that the spiritual nature of social media is that we beg for love and that we earn respect, there's a guy I like, and his name is Tim Sanders. Maybe you've heard of him. He wrote a book called Love is the Killer App. Well, I tend to agree with him. You can cover a multitude of sins if you care and if you love someone. He wrote another book, and it brings this all totally into earning respect, is likability. A lot of people have businesses and they're very unlikable. I don't like a lot of people that are trying to sell me stuff. I don't like a lot of the people that are out there pushing what their agenda is. I don't respect them. But here I am now, and I've got the opportunity to have a business, and I want to take this and move it, like you do too. And you all came here, hundreds of you, to be in this room so that you could learn what was the trends and the fashions and the things, and it's another revolution. And the revolution is, it's right here. I put my pocket. I've got Gutenberg in there. I've got CNN and the news in there. I've got the radio and the TV, and I've got writing and everything else, and I can turn it off or turn it on. And we're all doing that ourselves. I've never seen so many people that could talk, eat, drink, tweet, all in the same room and have an opinion on everything. It was amazing. I never felt like 57 in my life till last night. It was fantastic. So we've listened today to how communication works, how data works, how leveraging works, which we're going to hear from the man himself in a minute. And then we're going to hear about all these connections. And we saw all of that, how things were siloed and they were this and it was sex online and everything else. And I'm revolutionary. What did I tell my wife? But to wrap it up, the spiritual nature of this social media that you and I are involved in is, would you like a lot of people to love you enough to buy from you? You have to earn their respect. Would you like the respect of a lot of people? Would you like to respect them? Then you have to love them. You can't do it any other way. And that's what I believe, no matter whether you have a religious viewpoint on anything or not, is that's the nature of it. That's the driving force in it. And you can't buy an app for that. And you can't go get somebody else's who's got it. You have to find it within yourself. Thanks very much.